And now we return to Taito Legends for Space Gun, a game I'd never heard of until I played it for this video. The game is set in the year 2039, where we've started deep space exploration. One ship has been crippled and signals for help, so we are sent in. The game is a rail shooter, but since the PS2 disc doesn't have a gun attached, I have to use a cursor, which still works fine. At first I have the ship's own defences turning on me, but then a huge four-armed alien breaks through the wall. I use one of my limited bombs to blow it up while trying to figure out what each button does. As another comes in, I learn I can shoot individual limbs off the aliens, which is very cool for 1990. There are survivors I can save, these two I just need to not shoot while aiming for the alien going for them. Another limited item I get to try out, the firebomb ammo. There's the odd glowing object on the walls I can shoot to get more special ammo. After moving sideways enough, I reach another door into another corridor where a survivor runs past me while I deal with more aliens and now blood red spiders that either squirt purple shit at me or jump on my face. I end up moving right and a fourth survivor gets to me safely. I don't know if I can break open the windows out into space, but I can at least crack them. I then go through a few more corridors dealing with the same two enemies, a fifth survivor coming out of a lift before I meet a new yellowish version of the aliens. I end up getting my first death here when two of them gang up on me. I then get in the lift behind them and find that it's the end of the first stage. My survivors are counted up, though I'm not sure where the other four were meant to be. Stage 2 starts and as I get off the lift, the lights go out. I get these new two-armed aliens charging up to me. These ones can still hit you even after you've blown both their arms off. I get back into some light and have to choose if I want to go left or right. I choose right where I get to shoot more aliens for a greater defense where they can't reach me. Except for the jump scare one that shoots up into my face. Through the next load of doors is a survivor being chased by spiders. The next corridor has more of the same enemies while I pass by a large row of windows with what may be the ship's engine in the background. I reach the end and move forward again to save another man surrounded by several enemies. Through the door is a man I can't save as he mutates into one of them while an egg next to him hatches into flying toothy mouths. Through the next door is a man gooped into a wall, but I accidentally kill him trying to free him. The next one is being carried off by an alien, but I blast its arm off to save him. What follows is a stretch of eggs and alien goo along the walls, dealing with more spiders and two armed ones. A survivor in a spacesuit is saved while there's at least one who's been mangled. Trying to use some explosive ammo on an alien as I die also kills a second survivor behind it. Past her is an escape ship, but in front of it is a giant egg which hatches into a huge worm. It spits fireballs, but I use some of the ice ammo I've built up to freeze it in place and get a load of shots in. It can also stretch up towards me for a bite. I can deal with the fireballs by shooting them first, and they also throw out a lot of the special ammo I've built up. After enough shots I blow its head off and finish this stage. Communications with the starbase on the nearby planet have stopped, so I take the ship down there to investigate. As I walk along the surface of the planet to find said base, its defences have also turned on me like they did on the ship. But as I speed up, I also get attacked by flying saucers, flying alien manta rays, and weird fly things spitting giant bubbles. And for a while, that's all, we just get those free for a long stretch. I did like it though. The sudden boost of speed while moving along this planet was a nice change after 2 levels of slow, cautious walking. At the end we get a big wave of saucers along with a gigantic one flying overhead. It drops something onto the planet, causing a huge dust cloud as the amount of smaller saucers rapidly increases. Once it's done and leaves, I have another large sandworm to deal with, this one with mouths on all its segments. But that just turns out to be one of 2 arms and the full creature reveals itself. They can spit electric balls and rapidly fire pink ones. When they come towards me, I can shoot the mouths to send them back. The main creature is damaged by shooting it in the face. After enough shots I take off both arms and leave just the head spitting at me. A few more shots and it explodes into chunks, letting me reach the starbase at last. Stage 4, and seconds in I already had the 4-armed ones coming for me. I get a new red alien charging for me with a hostage, but I free him just as I'm given the choice between moving forward or right. I choose forward since I'm already shooting close to that option anyway. What follows is a corridor of these new aliens until the next room where more survivors are gooped up. I free one but accidentally kill the other. Forward or right again and I choose forward again. The next room's main threat is that it's overloaded on toothy balls. Other enemies are around, but they are the main problem. There's another woman gooped up to a wall, and after freeing her, I accidentally shoot her dead. Once I reach the next door and go through, I get a new purple variant of this stage's new dinosaur-headed alien. These ones start spitting fireballs. I get a stretch of them, one of them holding a hostage who I blow up while killing a whole group of them. I reach the next room where there are 4 survivors gooped up with aliens right in front of them. I accidentally kill the first, I save the second, I free the 4th only for her to get killed before she can reach me, and the auto screen scroll stops me from saving the 3rd, he's just gonna have to stay there. The next room is filled with toothy ball eggs. Then I reach the end where there's a stained glass window for some reason and a large manta ray comes flying in. It's constantly spitting projectiles at me and coming in for the odd bite. This is pretty easy. I freeze it once, then get a few more shots in and it explodes. Stage 4 done. I ask this old guy if there are more survivors deeper into the base, but the rude dick doesn't answer, so I look for myself. In Stage 5, the fly things have made it inside the base, and are joined by blue pulsating things on the wall spitting blue projectiles at me. After more of the same enemies, I can choose forward or left, and I choose forward. This leads me back outside, taking on more defences and manta rays. I find my first survivor running across the planet's surface. It's here I face another new kind of worm. This one is longer and greener than the others and flies all around the place. After giving it a few shots to the face, I freeze it, which makes it drop and split into several separate pieces. With so many of them spitting and biting at me, my health plummets at incredible speed. So I just have to kill each segment individually. Once that's done, I reach another section of the base and open the door to be killed right away by a huge group of flies. As I get moving right, there's a couple of hostages trapped against the walls, but I only save one. That's followed by a huge mangled pile of those who didn't survive. I go through the next door and find the walls and floors have become organic as another alien carrying a survivor comes for me. I manage to save him, and soon after another new worm attacks me. To deal with these, I just have to keep shooting the head. We get more hostages webbed up against the ceiling that I have to shoot free while these purple orbs fly around me. After a bit, I meet this demon with an exposed ribcage that shoots fireballs from its face. After a few shots, it dies while spawning a huge cloud demon with multiple faces. It has several segments that all take damage separately while the main face spits electricity at me. After enough damage, those segments will break off into toothy balls. Just have to keep it up for a while and let it keep shedding balls until it explodes like the rest. Realising the base is a lost cause, we decide to self-destruct it and try to escape on the shuttle I took here. And so Stage 6 is the trek back to the shuttle. Walking along what I assume is the roof of the base while the game throws most of the bipedal enemies at me until I reach this hatch being guarded by some sort of frog alien spitting at me. It also has a worm come out of its mouth to punch me with. Just those two attacks, but it takes quite a while to kill. That would be shorter than every other stage so far. And now for the final stage. I have to get the shuttle flying so we can return to Earth, but the cockpit is full of aliens, and even worse, the controls are destructible. I have to take out all these aliens, and that includes the boss one I couldn't fight long before it exploded into a cloud. And it goes badly. I end up destroying the controls, getting the bad ending as the shuttle is destroyed. We give ourselves up and the starbase is destroyed. I now have to go through the game again. This at least gives me the chance to check out some of those alternate routes when given the choice. In the second stage, at the first chance I go left. This takes me to a huge hive where I can meet the giant flies earlier. If I'd chosen right, I wouldn't see any until stage 3. But once I reach the end, the rest of it goes pretty much as usual. In stage 4, at the first choice I take a right. It's not much new, it looks like most of the rest of the level and has the same enemies. With choosing left in stage 5, it keeps me inside the base throughout the entire level. It's a neat way to prevent all playthroughs from being the same, but only 2 choices felt significantly different to me. And that just leaves having to get the good ending. It's quite simple, just don't spam shoot and aim more carefully and I won't blow up my only escape. I do cause some damage, but most of the controls are still in one piece. We escape the planet with no idea who these creatures were or what they wanted with us. But it doesn't end here, as we're on our way back to prepare for their inevitable invasion of Earth. And after the credits, as we return to Earth, we can see that we've been followed. Although it does end there, as this game was a one-off with no sequel. I enjoyed this game. For something I only played because I felt like recording something but also felt too rough at the time for anything long, I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. Even without a light gun, it still played well. I really liked the atmosphere and those big enemies were quite satisfying to blow to bits. Although I will say some bosses I felt took a few too many shots and went on a tiny bit too long, but the game's only 20 minutes long so it never gives you a chance to be bored. As of right now, it's going to be ranked 90 out of 150, and it just makes me realise how many games I've covered I've been positive on. If you don't remember or just don't know yet, the games I just do not like stop with 40 winks at 123. Some games above it I'm a bit more negative on, but I don't dislike them. And when you consider some games with multiple versions I've ranked in the same spot, less than a fifth of the games I've looked at I have disliked. Just something I thought about, but I'm glad for it. I don't want to be one of those late 2000s miserable gits who only has about 3 games that fit his ridiculous self-satisfied standards.